hey, my kid writes articles, like you guys should connect or whatever. And so then I end up being an editorial writer for a little bit in some outdoor publications through that.
What led you into the world of being outdoors?
Man, it's always been kind of ingrained in me from a real young age. My brother likes to make fun of me. He used to say the only reason we got our cable subscription canceled as kids was because I was the only one that watched it, and all I watched was the hunting channel. So for whatever reason, it's just something that always intrigued me. I'm kind of a born and raised but self-started hunter. So that got me into the outdoors, and then I grew up, joined the Air Force, came back, and I had a buddy of mine that was in the Air Force with me as a fellow weapons loader who was like working in the magazine world, and he started doing some publication stuff, and he had a random article in this hunting magazine that he was working for that didn't get filled. And he said, hey man, like you're a hunter, like you want to write an article about some stuff that you know about? And yeah, so for me at the time, I'd been kicking around this idea of what is now Light the Fire Outdoors. It's an actual business. But at the time it was going to be a YouTube channel. I was like, oh, just like the guys on TV I grew up watching, I want to do that one day, and I want to get paid to hunt and all that. And so I started a Facebook page and stuff for Light the Fire Outdoors. So I decided to write the article about that and just kind of what ignited my fire in the outdoors. Everything from seeing deer antlers hanging in my grandpa's garage, and the stories that he would tell, down to, getting my first bow and all the way along. And I just kind of wrote about that. So kind of a neat origin story, I guess, because it's turned into so much more later. But anyway, yeah, so that's how I got my foot in the world of magazine articles. Fast forward a little bit, I used to be a competitive weightlifter as well. My mom, we were at the Iowa State Fair. We're doing the Iowa State Fair bench press competition and walking around with my parents while they were doing all the scoring and stuff. And we walked by the Iowa Sportsman magazine booth that they had there. And my mom, of course, being a proud mom that she is, she's like, hey, my kid writes articles, like you guys should connect or whatever. And so then I ended up being an editorial writer for a little bit in some outdoor publications through that. And then that led me to some advertisers at the time that were advertising with one of those magazines. And I left my civilian career was a park ranger when we got stationed in Virginia. I left the Air Force. My wife is still in active duty today. But yeah, I was a park ranger and took a leap off a job offer I got to jump into the outdoor space, and never looked back. So here we are almost 11 years later now. And I did about 10 years at that company, and I stepped away, and now I'm doing my own thing on top of being a full-time dad. So it's been a whole new adventure.